So the gang sucking terrorist group has been keeping me up all night using electrolasers and voiceless skull transmissions uh, from a drone or drones. They're still vibrating me. Now my whole body is still vibrating, and they, as I say that, they make my voice vibrate a little bit. They're hitting me here, so I can do this. My hand feels like like that. Like it's not like shaking it enough to move it visibly, but I can feel it move. I can feel the vibrations in it. My dog has been uh, squirming all night long. So uh, last on the description of the last one, or the second to last one, when I was like, he's not squirming as much as he did last night, or it's not as bad as last night. They added, but the night is still young, and they were true about that because he's been squirming around like a motherfucker and going, and like, and I can feel them vibrate me. I can feel them vibrate him. I can hover my hand over him and vibrate him. They're just vibrating my penis right now. I put my hand here, and my hand's vibrating now. It's feeling electrical shocks, crushing sensation. That's now turning into a pain. And they go, ha ha ha, we got you. No one will believe you. Your dad doesn't believe you. Nobody's coming for you. It's like, thanks for the shit of your timeline, Carrie. We really appreciate it. That's what they're saying. Not that he's watching these videos, but they give a shit about my life, Max's life, or our well-being. Anyway, if he did, I wouldn't be saying those words, and if he did, I wouldn't still be here suffering in worsening, an ever worsening situation, where I have no options but to suffer or to not suffer, and that could mean one of many self-help options, which I vehemently refuse to do, but which my dad doesn't give a shit, doesn't respect that, and doesn't praise that, and doesn't protect me from from being in a desperate position with those options being more attractive, or in a desperate position to maybe take one of those options. He doesn't give a shit about that, and he doesn't respond all to that. And so, like, I've already given up on him. I hate him. I will never love him ever again. I can't believe he's like allowed this to continue to happen to me. I don't know if I'll ever survive this. If I do survive this, I don't know what the fuck has been done to my body with whatever, I don't know if they're using x-rays. Um, Certainly the electricity. I don't know if they've been beating my heart. They're electrocuting me all night too. There was a very bad spell for like, I don't know, a couple hours. They were like I was literally like being electrocuted and going through a diatribe again to like my dad who's not even listening, or to no one who's not listening, because they keep acting like my dad's listening. Ooh, look at that hint. Ooh, look at that hint. Ooh, that means they're not it. Ooh, they're closing in on us. Ooh. And once again, should you be anyone that gives a shit about me or Max or well-being, at all, or yourselves or anyone or anything in the world, uh, like, like, spread the word. Tell me you believe me. Like, spread the hashtag. Do it publicly. Like, send me a text. Send me a Facebook message. Do something. I'm isolated. Like, give me a plane ticket or something. Get me the fuck out of here, since my dad won't do it. Arrange like me to get on like one of those small planes where me and I can get out of here to a whatever, or whatever. Like, I'm like, literally, my dad's put me in an even worse situation and allowed, like, no resources, nothing. Like, I can't do anything. All I can do is sit here and suffer in isolation, and it sucks, and it's getting worse every single day, and he's doing nothing about it. And again, it's not good enough if you're doing something if it takes forever to do. Which, again, I don't know if anyone is doing anything. They keep doing hulu at this. It's like, ooh, you never said shit to your timeline to your dad. That was a hint. I'm like, that was over a month ago, or 2 months ago. It was over a month ago, month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago. Like, what the fuck? So to get my hopes up, and then like I get tortured every single fucking day. Every single second is an eternity. So if there's a rescue coming tomorrow, that's too fucking late. If there's a rescue coming in 10 minutes, that's too fucking late. I may not be here, Dad, and anyone else that gives a shit. Like, what the fuck, people? Not that you're doing anything or listening, and the only people commenting, most of them are fucking gang stalkers. or henchmen of them because they'll comment on things after things happen to me. Like I'm like, how did they know to comment on that? That's very coincidental. Like I didn't even mention that in my video. They're mentioning something that happened to me that day on some old video. Like very suspicious, which I did provide to the FBI along with much more, concrete leads, and he didn't fulfill any of his promises. Fucking FBI agent Samson, fucking coward, fucking piece of shit too. So thanks for nothing, people who I thought gave a shit about me. I gave a shit about like justice and protecting people, and like this is domestic terrorism. It's a type of terrorism that affects more people. It affects every single person in this country and in this world. And these people actually push people to terrorism, and it's domestic terrorism, and it's by our own local law enforcement and our government and our military, and people that somehow get in on that. Maybe evil magicians and mentalists that abuse voice to skull devices. So all night long, like I haven't even been asleep yet. I'm not on anything. I'm not like I literally have been kept up all night, and they're still vibrating and electrocuting me throughout my whole fucking body. It was so bad I was like shaking when I was having a cigarette at one point. I was sitting there smoking, and like my knees are doing that. Like that's not schizophrenia, Dad. Even if I was schizophrenic, which I'm not, that has nothing to do with schizophrenia. I'm not on anything. It has nothing to do with any, and I have witnesses that have proven that it's an external force. And I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos like this where I'm like, now I feel it here. Like, or now my hand feels it. Now my head feels it. Now my hand feels it. Now my head does not feel it. Now my head feels it and my hand does not feel it. Now my foot feels it. Now my hand doesn't. Now my hand feels it. Like what the fuck? Like what more can I fucking do? Like you're killing me. You're letting me get killed. You're driving me to suicide. Like I'm not suicidal, but you're leaving me in a sufferable situation in which there are no options and no escape from. You've literally isolated me and given and like with nothing for no reason. I didn't do anything wrong. And that's how you treat someone with multiple disabilities and who you believe has an addiction, which I don't. And and that's how you treat a person in general. Like you're a disgusting piece of shit, Dad, and I will never think better of you than that because you aren't. Like, here's the thing: you're the one trying the same thing over and over again, and going to Al-Anon is not trying a different thing enough. You have not at all gotten the investigation done. You have to do that. Period. It's your moral obligation to do so. It would not cause a burden on you at all, and would have alleviated all this nonsense if you had done it 2.5 years ago. Just because I didn't give you a second contact, which I gave you a reason for that, saying Austin was a slim pickings place, and that you'd probably have to look elsewhere for it, and that I really needed your help, and that I was under attack, and in desperate need of help. And you did nothing, and you blame it on a fucking not getting a second contact, which you couldn't Google it your fucking self, and which you should have told me immediately, and I would have still hunted for a second contact and probably given you a shitty contact. Like, but it's still, at least I guess then you would have still hired it. But like, you still blame it on that? You didn't tell me that for a long time. Like, I went weeks and months hoping that you had hired a private investigator to look into it secretly and covertly, thinking, and they were teasing me the whole fucking time. This is like 2.5 fucking years ago. Like going, wait, your dad's hired a PI, but like, they're on their way, or like they're looking at, or we know when they're gonna come, or like them, maybe he didn't hire them, or he did, or he never hired them, maybe he did hire them, blah blah blah, taunting the whole fucking time. Like I wouldn't normally spin on it that much, or at all. I would try to put it out of my head if I wasn't being attacked and being taunted by them all day long. But like, think of that. I was desperate and being attacked, tortured and terrorized, physically and sexually assaulted, like every day. And now it's worse. It's 24/7, but it's like a motherfucker. It's like every single microsecond they're doing it. I'm like, and I was desperately hoping that you were hiring a private investigator. And like, I was like, well, maybe like he didn't like. It's like if you didn't like, why wouldn't you have said something immediately to me and called me and said I need a second contact? No, you just said it later. I was like, why didn't you? I thought you were hired a PI. Why didn't you? Well, you didn't give me a second contact. That's something I should be angry at you about and treat you like shit for and treat you like a bad person. No, you shouldn't. You should have told me immediately. You should have required me to do it to begin with. And you give me a $5,000 budget, now I no longer have it. And now the Robin says, well, we wanted to be clean. It's like, I am clean. I've been clean, motherfucker, you stupid piece of shit. I'm more clean than Robin and John. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, god damn it. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and why would that even be a requirement, which it never was to begin with? Why would that be a requirement when that could be a symptom of like what's going on? Like as a result, like not the cause. And even like, why would that cause you to not hire a private investigator anyway? Like, so people that you do think have a problem with that, like, or addictions and multiple physical disabilities, which self medicate to begin with, even if you don't believe what I'm saying, you still believe I have multiple physical disabilities, like, and you still like, and so you think those that those demographics and people with mental health issues, like, and physical and other that are disabling, multiple disabilities, let alone one disability, you think you treat people like that, and you think, and you put the like, like, like that's how you treat them with like no resources when I have to wait 16 months possibly for a fucking hearing for like disability. Like I didn't do anything wrong, but you like you want, but those people don't deserve justice and don't deserve an investigation. That's why these people get away with it. And Robin keeps going like, we gotta change. I'm like, why don't we look into it? Well, Dad's not gonna do that, so you got just. It's like, well, I can't. Like, someone has to look into it. So I guess we should never look into like any crimes at all or ever follow suspects. No one's even talked to the suspects. You talk to the doctor, he wasn't there during the incident. And he was doing that pussy ass motherfucker bullshit with you in the office, which he told you like the meth could not have caused like what little usage I had been doing and had been tapering down from uh, to where there were like gaps of like no usage at all. Uh, could not have caused the schizophrenia to begin with, and that you still think it could, and it couldn't have, and it didn't, and I also didn't have power. I don't have powers of premonition that you keep throwing out, like, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, and then he was, well, what if they say they didn't do it? Why don't we ask them, motherfucker? Why don't we get a private investigator that can press them and actually get the answers that we need? That was like 2.5 years ago, over 2.5 years ago, and they're still sitting, they're going on with their fucking lives, and I get banned from the clinic thinking like, and I've never even threatened them. Like I was literally assaulted, and and lied to, and my medical information was released by them to these gang stalkers shortly before that appointment, when they started like spouting off information from my medical record from like many years ago. Ooh, how would we know that? You must be schizophrenia. You must be schizophrenic. That's not how it works. Man. Like that's suspicious. I'm like, oh, well, how the fuck did they know that? And then that happens at the doctor's office. Like soon after that. Oh, that's how they knew. Oh, I get it now. Oh, well, maybe they took blood from the second prick or the second draw. No, Dad. Why would I be upset about that? Why would I be upset about them like taking blood from the second? Like that doesn't make any sense. No, they took blood. She said she didn't. I looked down. I saw that she had. I didn't think anything of it. She left the room to go get someone or to do something. I was like, okay, maybe she didn't get enough. Like she lost the vein. Like I'm very easy to get blood from. And then she brought in the second lady, and the second lady went and and then threw the needle away, which was an inappropriately sized needle, an inappropriate type of needle that you would never use for a simple blood draw or blood draw really of any kind. It's not the type of needles that they use to draw blood. And then I don't even know if it was like, I don't even know if it was sterile. I didn't see her taking it out of a container or anything. And just threw it in like the dispensary. And they had already taken blood, and all I needed was a band-aid. And they wrapped me sloppily, in excessive medical tape, and just smiled. It's creepily at each other. Oh, and then after she like threw it away, she was like, spitefully, and I was just in shock. And here I am suffering with no answers, and that's your fucking fault, because you could have hired a private investigator, and like this, and like I wouldn't have gone through this shit, and I wouldn't be such a burden to you and such a bother to you. You need a break from this. I need a break from this, motherfucker. Do something. Oh, you're not gonna do something. Well, I'm never going to talk to you or see you ever again. And I don't even know if you're watching these videos. I guess Robin's watching them. I don't know if she'll, she doesn't believe me. But it's like, my hand feels it. Now my head feels it. It's like, and I have witnesses. That's an external force. Well, you got to get control over it, kid. I can't control that, stupid motherfuckers. What insensitive assholes you are. Fuck you. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I can't control people doing that. Like, what? You think I have 20 fucking diseases all at once? And the power of premonition? And you keep ignoring things, and I'm like, and I have the power of premonition? Well, like, that was 3 years ago, Kip. I know it was 3 years ago. This has been drug out long enough, motherfuckers. Well, you got to get over it. I can't get over it. They won't let me get over it. Even without justice, they won't let me move on with my life. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing. Like, I hate you so fucking much more now, Dad. I do not love you, and I will never love you ever again. Period. That is not a hyperbole or an exaggeration. Like, you have treated me, you are such a disgusting, horrible human being. A bigoted, ignorant motherfucker to like say that thing about the inmates that were my witnesses and other victims. So you must think that about me too. Obviously, you haven't believed a goddamn. You used to say you believe 50%. No, I said that 5%. No, Dad, you said 50%, and that's still an insult even in that case because I've been consistent with all my stories. Well, what about the sketchy caravan of the doom? I explained it in that fucking video that I linked you to, motherfucker. I'm not. You still want me obsessing over it when I told you that it was a perception that they created? When the one day there was people following me, and then they created that perception from that one day, and like I explained very carefully how they create that and how they try to get people paranoid and think people are following them, which is why there's so many gang stalking videos of people thinking that certain people are following them that probably aren't. That because of like the voice of skull shit, like subliminally and shit, and how they get people to cross paths. Like, you are such a disgusting example of a father and a human being. If that's how you treat someone with disabilities, multiple disabilities, but even let alone one disability, well, you thought you're supposed to be working. We never had a plan for me to work. I voluntarily was going to go to that day labor place, and I still applied at Walmart. I was waiting. It was the disability path, which you could have helped expedite. Oh, Dad, I need some money for a copier. I think it's going to cost like $200. Well, Tom Price found a place and he priced it at $140. Okay. Okay, well, I need that, and I need grocery money, which normally you send me like $100, give or take. And then I was like, and I need a little extra for like pet supplies. And you sent me $100. And you and Tom had already delayed it for weeks, and you were bitching about me about delaying my disability. When I was relying on you and Tom to do shit. Either Tom to do it for me because I had no money, because he said he would, and then you to give me money. And I'm like, so I need 140 plus grocery money, which should be like 100, which was average what you send, plus an extra for pet stuff, so 50. So that's $250 for that one time, a year and a half ago, or a year and a couple months ago. And like you yourself in the text were like, well, Tom priced it at 140 just for the copier stuff or the printouts. And I was like, okay, well I need that in grocery money. You're like, okay, you sent me $100. 100 is less than 140, dipshit. You can't think. And you bitch at me about like delaying my disability when you don't even send me the amount that you knew I needed just for the printouts. So I had to use that for fucking grocery and pet supplies. And couldn't get all my printouts for my disability. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not, like, over and over and over again. You still think I threatened Tom's daughters? Kip, you're such an ass. There's nothing in there. No, Dad, you're a fucking jackass piece of shit, and you're a horrible, disgusting human being. I will never respect ever again, even if I'm rescued like in 10 minutes. I may not be here in 10 minutes because of you. Thanks to you. Like, you're a disgusting piece of shit, and I will hate you until the day that I die.